Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network this afternoon on a cold, windy day in Niwot. It's a Longs Peak League clash between the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs and the Niwot Cougars. I'm John Beltran. That's the story so far today. 53 degrees, but it feels like more like 43 degrees. Niwot beat up Fort Morgan on Saturday, and Fort Morgan 12-0. They're 6-9 in league play, 9-10 overall. And the Mustangs at 3-12 in the league and 6-14 on the season. We'll get you to the Mustang starting lineup. Brought to you by Buildings by Design. They'll make your vision a reality. Visit buildingsbydesign.com. Batting first for the Mustangs will be the shortstop Charlie Langford. The left fielder Jaden Carrera hits second. Batting third, the catcher Jason Diaz. The DH is Chase Prouty. He's the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth is the third baseman Miguel Davila. Angel Lopez, the center fielder, at sixth. Isaiah Ortiz, the second baseman, hits seventh. Cooper Chisholm will be hitting eighth. Batting ninth is Frank Urias. J.J. Marquez should be the outfield since Chase Prouty is the DH, and I think that's the only thing that's been altered. The pitcher is going to be Jaden Carrera, so we'll check that. We will check that. Yeah, that'll place Marquez actually in left, but not hitting today. And Lopez in center and Cooper Chisholm in right. That'll be the outfield alignment once we get the first pitch. They'll be facing Cage Kennedy of the Niwot Cougars. Brock Rothstein tossed a four-hitter in the victory on Saturday in Fort Morgan. Let's take a break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's set this Niwot team defensively for you. Let's set it up. Drew Stapp is at first. Sergio Pimentel is at second. The third baseman is Henry Noblin. Brock Rothstein, the shortstop. It's Jack Schrock in left. Charlie Shaw's in right field. Hayden Shaw behind the plate, and Cage Kennedy's on the mound. The center fielder is going to be, that should be Tapp or Stapp. Yeah, we'll get confirmation there. It looks like the lineups we got. Yeah, Arlo Richards is in center. So there you go. There's your center fielder. And now we have these lineups straight offensively, defensively. Niwot dressed in their home whites. And the Mustangs in their road grays for head coach Josh Langford. Last year, a very interesting game here in Niwot. The Mustangs had a 3-2 lead in the fifth inning. And they got run ruled in 6, 13-3. So it's that one big inning that got away from Morgan last year. That happened against Niwot on Saturday. They were down 1-0, and then Niwot scored 7 runs in the second inning, and the Mustangs fell by a score of 12-0. This right-hander, Cage Kennedy, good fastball and breaking ball. The numbers for Kennedy: he is 2-1 with a .8 ERA in 11 appearances. Wow. In fact, Niwot as a team with a 2.48 earned run average. If they're 2.48, how in the world are they 9-10? Let's look at some of the games they've lost. Let's see, 4-1 to Silver Creek, 4-3 to Roosevelt. That explains it. 6-2 to Severance, 2-1 to Severance, 5-4, 4-2 to Thompson Valley, 6-4, 9-7 to Skyline. And they lost to Frederick twice, which Fort Morgan beat twice, 6-4 and 7-0. Now I see why they've got some good arms there. First pitch is brought to you by B&B Appliance. They'll help match the appliances to your needs at 502 Ensign Street in downtown Fort Morgan. B&B Appliance out of the stretch is Kennedy with the bases empty to Charlie Langford. Fastball is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes to the leading hitter for the Mustangs. Langford hitting .409. And the offering. Swung on and grounded to second. 2 big hops. It takes a tough hop. Recovering, picking up, throwing to first late. Well, on the second pitch of the game, it's an error committed by Sergio Pimentel. Ball was hit sharply, but he recovered, then dropped the ball a second time. And here's Jaden Carrera. Today's Mustang pitcher. Batting .259. Again, now you can see why Niwot's ERA is so low. They've lost a lot of close games. The stretch by Kennedy, 3-step lead for Langford. And the pitch, and that one went behind Carrera. Wow, way behind him. And Charlie's going to jog to second. That is the definition of a wild pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. I mean, he missed hitting Carrera by about half a foot. I mean, it was not even that close to hitting the batter. That's how far behind the hitter Kennedy threw the ball. 1-0. And the offering. Fastball is high. 2 balls and no strikes off I-76 and exit 66A in Wiggins. Visit Stubbs Gas and Oil, gas, food, and all your travel accessories at Stubbs Gas and Oil. 2-0. Langford off of second, the offering. That's a fastball low, 3-0. When you get beaten by a team 12-0, it's nice to have first ups and not be on the field. Get off to a lead and see what happens. And the 3-0 pitch. Inside, a tailing fastball. And it's a 4-pitch walk to Carrera.
Now then, pitcher number 4, Jason Diaz.
Jason Diaz hitting .339. And there's a visit from the catcher, Hayden Shaw. Again, a .8 ERA for Kennedy. Although the runner at second is not his fault after the error by the second baseman, Sergio Pimentel. The wind has got a little bit of a personality. It'll really kick up like it is now, and then it will disappear. Diaz had that big 4-hit game 5 days ago against Riverdale Ridge. He was on base 5 times and inside the box when the balk was called to win the game. Swing and a miss. That pitch was above the letters, and I don't know why he's winging at that. Not because it was high, but he just walked the previous hitter on 4 pitches. You want to be aggressive, but you want to do it in the right count. No balls and 1 strike. Kennedy looks back, and the offering scoring to bunt, and he pops it up first base side and foul. And that pitch, I think, would have hit Diaz. It was tailing in on Diaz. I think would have hit him. He bunted it to protect himself. No balls and 2 strikes. He hasn't seen a strike yet, but he's in a hole. Langford at second, Carrera at first. The pitch, fastball is up and in. Ball 1, strike 2 to Jason Diaz, the senior catcher for the Mustangs. On deck, it's the cleanup hitter, Chase Prouty. The stretch, the pitch, breaking ball is up and in. 2-2. Kennedy has not found the zone yet. He's thrown just 3 strikes, and 2 of those were really not strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Diaz awaits the offering. That is a little bit low. Barely missed with a fastball. Just below the knees on the outer half. It's 3-2. Sizable lead for the lead runner, Langford. 3-2. That's low and away, a walk. Another fastball. Kennedy cannot find a strike zone.
Now batting, PH number 19, Chase Prouty.
Chase Prouty now the hitter at 292. His average has gone up about 50 points in the last few games. Really tearing it up. Looks like that might be, we'll see, the courtesy runner first. I don't know if that's Hilser, but there is a courtesy runner at first. With the bases loaded, nobody out top of the first. The pitch, swung on line, base hit into right center field. A run is going to score. Carrera's around third, but he's going to be held right there. An RBI single for Chase Prouty. 1-0 Fort Morgan in the top of the first inning on a solidly hit baseball.
Now batting, third baseman number 6, Miguel Davila.
Here is Miguel Davila. Davila's out of the 5-hole. The stretch. Wind is kicking up quite a bit. And the offering. And that's low. 1 ball and no strikes to Miguel Davila. Hitting .265. Runners take their leads out of the stretch with the bases loaded, nobody out. The offering in the dirt. Blocked by Shaw, 2-0. Well, based on the numbers, Kennedy has not pitched this poorly all season. An error. And then 2 walks and the base hit by Prouty to score the first run of the game. The Mustangs looking for more. The offering. Swung on and fouled off to the right, out of play. A fastball over the meat of the plate. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, Chase might be at 300 with that base hit. He was at 292 before the at-bat. Carrera, the lead runner at third. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled right side, giving Chase. But running out of room is Charlie Shaw. In right field, it's 2-2. And if the Mustangs can play 3 or 4 runs here, then it's going to be left up to Carrera to pitch the ball game he is capable of, but really hasn't thrown all season. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Laying down the sign is Shaw. The offering, swung on and grounded to first. The play is going to be made to the plate. There's a force for 1, and there's 1 down. The bases remain loaded. That will go 3-2 on the fielder's choice. On that chopper.
Center fielder number 1, Angel Lopez.
To the right side, here's Angel Lopez. Lopez, a .205 hitter. All right-handed hitting lineup except Cooper Chisholm, who's in a lineup today for the Mustangs. Hitting in the 8-hole. He's 2 doors down. Here's the stretch. Kennedy, the right-hander, tall right-hander to the plate. Low. 1 ball and no strikes. I think the wind is blowing in from center field. It feels like it. It really does. I'm set up next to a tree to try to block off any wind. The offering. Breaking balls up and in. Two balls and no strikes to Angel Lopez. 1-0 Mustangs, top of the first inning. Let's see if he takes on a 2-0. He'll swing and miss at a pitch that was on the inside corner. That was definitely strike 1, but you're not doing anything with that pitch tailing down and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bases loaded. At the belt is Kennedy. And the offering. And that one he turned, and it's a foul ball. That would have either hit him or maybe gone to the screen. Well, there's a reason Angel is scuffled this year at the plate, hitting .205. Those are pitches you cannot even motion at. But you offer, and then it hit the bat, and it was incidental contact, but it's 2-2. Now he's got to protect. The offering. That is a called strike 3. That pitch is on the outside corner with a fastball, And Lopez goes down looking. 2 down for Isaiah Ortiz.
Number 1, second baseman, Isaiah Ortiz.
Ortiz hitting .231. If the Mustangs are limited to 1 run, this is a setback because they had a 1-0 lead with the bases loaded and nobody out. Now there's 2 down. The stretch, Kennedy to the dish. Fisted foul, and that one hurt him. He took a swing at a pitch that was in on his hands. And Fort Morgan, quite frankly, a good portion of the season with many of their hitters, they just do not read the ball well off that pitcher. Lopez motioned at a 2-1 that would have been ball 3 or hit him. Ortiz motioned at that pitch, and in fact, he fouled it off, but it hit part of his hand. But that's a swing. That is a swing. I think it hit a combination of the bat and his left hand, and he's smarting out there, but he's going to stay in the game. He's a tough kid. But quit swinging at those that are tailing in. I mean, that's where Cage Kennedy is working. He's working inside, and he's going to keep working inside as long as the Mustangs offer at those pitches. No balls and 1 strike. Ortiz appears to be okay, and if you're a Mustang hitter, make the adjustment. Either don't swing or back off the plate so that pitch doesn't tie you up. 1-0 Fort Morgan, 2 down. Top of the first inning. An extended first inning. Mustangs sending 7 to the plate, but let's see if they can score more than 1 run. Kennedy delivers. That is right there on the outer half fastball. Bell tie. That's the pitch to swing at. Now he's down at 0-2. Yeah, that's what you wanted there. A perfect pitch. No balls and 2 strikes. Ortiz awaits. Down and away. Ball 1, strike 2. Cooper Chisholm is on deck. Runners with sizable leads, even with Kennedy working for the stretch. And the 1-2 offering. And the breaking ball went behind him off the catcher's glove. And runner to the plate. And no throw. And the Mustangs on a wild pitch lead 2-0. The others advance. And that courtesy runner was indeed Braden Hilser. So that's a big run for Fort Morgan. You didn't want to be limited to 1 run. The offering, swing and a miss and a fastball below the knees. A strikeout of Isaiah Ortiz. However, the Mustangs scored 2 runs. They do it on 1 base hit, an RBI single from Chase Prouty, 1 error, and 2 men left in scoring position. Bottom of the first. The Mustangs already have 2 runs, something they could not accomplish even with 1 run on Saturday. 2-0. Niwot coming to bat on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm John Beltran, back from Niwot High School. Let's get the Cougars starting lineup. Batting first, the right fielder Charlie Shaw. The shortstop Brock Rothstein hits second. The catcher is hitting third. That's Hayden Shaw. Pitcher Cage Kennedy bats fourth. The 5th hitter is a DH Jagger Kilpatrick. Batting sixth is Henry Noblin, the 3rd baseman. First baseman Drew Stapp hits 7th. Batting 8th, the 2nd baseman Sergio Pimentel. And Arlo Richards, the center fielder, hits 9th. For the Mustangs defensively, Frank Urias is at first. The 2nd baseman is Isaiah Ortiz. Miguel Davila is at third. The shortstop is Charlie Langford around the outfield. J.J. Marquez, well, actually, J.J.'s pitching. Okay. Now we got that right. J.J. Marquez on the mound. So Shaden Carrera is in left. Now that makes sense. Angel Lopez in center. Cooper Chisholm in right behind the plate is Jason Diaz, and J.J. is coming off a masterful outing at home against Riverdale Ridge, in which he went 7 innings. He did allow 4 runs, but man, did he pitch well. 0-2 with a respectable 4.45 ERA in 7 appearances. This is his 3rd start. And And that's going to be the key for this young Mustang pitching staff. Can they string good outings together? We've seen good outings sporadically, but back-to-back is another story. And that's what JJ on Niwot's home field is looking to accomplish today, especially with these windy conditions. But it doesn't seem to affect pitching. Although you wouldn't have known it, Cage Kennedy really scuffled in the top of the first inning. So here we go with Charlie Shaw, ready to step in for the Niwot Cougars. Niwot hitting .323 as a team. Shaw, a junior, hitting .444. Right-handed hitter for Niwot. Marquez to the plate in the dirt, scooped up by Diaz. 1 ball and no strikes to Charlie Shaw. And the offering. That's a strike with a changeup down the middle at the knees. Good looking pitch by sophomore J.J. Marquez. It's 1-1. 2-0 Fort Morgan. Bottom of the first inning. The offering. That's a fastball strike on the inside corner, knee high. What a well spotted pitch by Marquez. It's 1-2. Diaz lays down the sign. The pitch. Breaking ball just inside. Well, he's claiming it hit him. I don't think so. Come on, Shaw. That ball didn't hit you. There was no change of direction whatsoever. 2-2. The pitch. Swing on a foul. Left side, big swing and a foul. Down the third base side, remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. To Charlie Shaw. Mustangs scored an RBI single from Chase Prouty in a wild pitch. The pitch popped up, foul territory, and that one is out of play behind the screen. As he came in on the hands, it remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marquez ready. He turns and fires. Swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball on the outside corner. 1 out. Shaw, a 4.440. How about a 3.4s hitter? 4.440. I can't even say it. I think the wind is getting into my teeth. 4.44 goes down swinging. There we go. Here's Brock Rothstein hitting .360. Left-handed hitter. Open stands for the left side. The pitch. That tails on the outside corner for a strike with a changeup. No balls and 1 strike. Diaz setting up on the outside corner. JJ to the plate. Fastball is upstairs and the count levels at 1-1. To the winning pitcher from Saturday, Brock Rothstein. He went the distance on a 4-hitter. The offering. Swung on and popped up. Right side. The shortstop Langford on the second base side makes the catch. Even though the ball was hit directly at Isaiah Ortiz, I don't know if he saw it initially. Charlie ran way to his left. I mean, it's almost like he was the second baseman. 2 down. That resembled a Kelly Leak and Bad News Bears, where one player is going to cover everything. Charlie Cook took control, made the catchers Hayden Shaw. Man, this kid's tearing it up, hitting .509. Breaking ball's a strike. On the outer half at the knees, it's 0-1, and J.J. Marquez looks very comfortable. Very comfortable. With 2 down and the bases empty. The pitch, swung on, popped up, right side, second baseman Ortiz along the line, calls for it, and he makes the 2-handed grab. And J.J. Marquez with a 1-2-3, bottom of the first inning. Let's head to the second in Niwot. The Mustangs trying to avenge Saturday's 12-0 loss. Lead by a score of 2-0 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's hit the top of the second. 2-0 Mustangs lead over the Niwot Cougars. J.J. Marquez with a strikeout in the top of the first inning. It'll be Cooper Chisholm, Frank Urias, and Charlie Langford against right-hander Cage Kennedy. Somehow they're still manicuring the mound with a rake. We haven't had rain or anything like that. I wonder why. Because the wind is not blowing the clay off the mound whatsoever. Yeah, you rarely see that this early in a baseball game. Unless there was some moisture on that clay. It's certainly a darker color than the rest of the clay. So for the Mustangs, 8-9-1. Let's see, Cooper Chisholm is looking for his second hit of the year. It's hitting 125. 1 out of 8 so far. Wouldn't this be something if Fort Morgan, against 2 consecutive opponents, avenges a one-sided shutout loss? They fell to Riverdale Ridge in Thornton 15-0. 2 days later, they beat them in Fort Morgan 5-4 in 10 innings. We know what happened Saturday, the 12-0 loss at home to Niwot, and now up 2-0. So we have a freshman, and a senior batting in the top of the second inning for the Mustangs. Hopefully more than that. Kennedy again out of the stretch with the bases empty. And the offering. Swing and a miss. Chisholm was way late on that one. It's 0-1. And again, he cannot pull that front side. If you pull that front side, you can only hit the ball to the right side effectively. The stretch. And the offering. Breaking ball is up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to freshman right fielder Cooper Chisholm. And the outfield playing him shallow. Very shallow. The pitch. Swung on and driven into center field. Coming in and playing it on a bounce for a base hit is Arlo Richards. He had him played shallow, but Chisholm still was able to place it in front of him. And that's the way the second inning starts. The Mustangs now with 2 hits. Here is Frank Urias. Left-handed thrower, right-handed hitter. Frank is 0 for 3 on the season. Scoring a bunt, and he pops it foul out of play. Yeah, Fort Morgan has not been a good bunting team this season as the wind, as you can hear, really starts to wreak havoc. It's like something out of the Wizard of Oz here. No balls and 1 strike. Will he square to bunt again? Yes. Down and away with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mustangs lead Niwot in the second, 2-0 in Niwot. Chisholm, a 3-step lead at first. At the belt is Cage Kennedy. The pitch, squaring to bunt. Beautiful bunt right up front of the plate. Charging the pitcher Kennedy. Throw to first in time. The sacrifice is successful, 1-3. Chisholm to second, 1 down.
Now batting shortstop, number 15, Charlie Langford.
Langford hit a solid ground ball to the second baseman Pimentel, who misplayed it. Charlie eventually scored on Chase Prouty's RBI single. Langford awaits the first pitch to him. And here it is. That's a fastball outside. One ball and no strikes. The pause. The look back, the pitch. Swung on and fisted right side. And the play's going to be made at first by Shaw, or check that. That's going to be Drew Stapp, who steps on the bag. And again, that was a pitch inside. Nothing you can do with that except what Charlie did, advancing the runner 2 down. 3 unassisted. They've got to lay off that pitch tailing inside. They can't do anything with it. That's the exact pitch that Cage Kennedy wanted the Mustangs to swing at. Carrera walked in the first. The offering. Fastball's a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. At the belt is Kennedy. The pitch. Line foul right side. 0-2. Well, I don't have to tell you how the weather is behaving. You can hear it right through the microphone. 0-2 to Jaden Carrera. The offering. Swung on, grounded foul, first base side. Remains at 0-2. Everybody's all bundled up in Niwot. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the right. One with a breaking ball. Remains at 0-2. This weather, this wind, not designed for human beings to be outside. The offering. Went behind him to the screen. And now Chisholm to the plate to throw. This did not slide, and they're going to tag him out. He tried to hop over the tag. It was 1 hop to the pitcher, Kennedy, as it caromed right back to the catcher. And he's out at the plate. That was a wild carom right back to the catcher, Shaw. And that allowed a tag play to be made. And I think Cooper didn't slide because he thought that he could leap over the tag. Although I think a slide, he would have been in there. The ball more than likely would have made contact with a base runner. And he's out at the plate for the Mustangs in the top of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Bases left empty. 1.5 complete. 2-0. Fort Morgan leads Niwot on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. And the pitch to Cage Kennedy is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-0. Fort Morgan. J.J. Marquez retired the side in order in the first. The pitch swung on line, base hit into center field. And that's Niwot's first hit. Here comes the DH, Jagger Kilpatrick. So Kennedy's average ascends from 453. Kilpatrick hitting just 250, right-handed hitter. Not a bad mix. Righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty. The pitch, breaking ball is inside. A little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. Short lead for Kennedy. The offering. Lifted right side along the line, but that's twisting away and out of play. 1-1. Well, we can now see that this wind is clearly blowing from left to right. Clearly. And again, it dies down a little bit, and then it just has a roar to that wind that really affects the flight of the baseball. One ball, 1 strike to Jagger Kilpatrick. Diaz lays down the sign. 2-step advantage at first. Throw back to first. Tag applied. Back in time. Need about 20 bowls of soup right now. The pitch swung on, grounded up the middle. Langford to his left dives, and it's a base hit into center right off his glove. Oh man, if he came up with that one, could have had a force. And if it was hit a little bit towards him, it would have been a double play. But back-to-back base hits to begin the second. Here is Henry Noblin. 259 hitter. Good pitches by JJ, but these are solid hitters. Let's see if he squares to bunt. Yep. And that's in the dirt, and Diaz blocks it. Now it gets away just a little bit, but no advance. Yeah, it kept squirting away from Diaz, but he was able to track it down. 1 ball and no strikes. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. Back-to-back base hits to begin the frame for Niwot. Noblin awaits. Throw back to second. The tag. Kennedy is out. Oh, he leaned, and he was tagged out by Langford. Kennedy totally fooled at second, and he was out by a mile. What a huge base running miscue. And really an easy throw there for JJ. And a swipe tag applied by Langford. That could change the inning altogether. The offering. Breaking ball's a strike on the outer half at the knees. It's 1-1. So Chisholm thrown out to begin the top of the second at home plate on a potential wild pitch. And now the lead runner thrown out for the first out at the bottom of the second. Swing and a miss. Another sweeping breaking ball. Did he get him there? Was that 3 strikes? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I had... That's a strikeout of Noblin. I must have missed a pitch. So it's a strikeout of Henry Noblin. Second strikeout for Marquez. Another curveball that he used to strike him out. Here is Drew Stapp. Unless that first pitch that he threw Noblin was called a strike, but I don't think so. Right-handed hitting first baseman for Niwot. Oh, close stance. Swung on and tapped right side. The pitcher Marquez on the second hop. He'll race all the way to first and step on the bag by himself. The rare 1 unassisted. And just like that, J.J. Marquez pitches masterfully after allowing 2 hits to begin the frame. 1 base runner left for the Niwot Cougars. We have played 2 innings. 2 innings in Niwot, and the Mustangs are holding a 2-0 lead. Both runs in the first inning on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Jaden Carrera was the hitter when Chisholm was cut down at the plate trying to score on a wild pitch, which was not a wild pitch because he was tagged out. So he'll lead off the third. The Mustangs lead Niwot 2-0. Jaden Carrera, Jason Diaz, and Chase Prouty. Both teams have 2 hits in the game. The stretch with the bases empty. Carrera walked in the first. The offering in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Cage Kennedy threw 41 pitches through the first 2 innings. Looking in. The pitch. Fastball for a strike on the inner half at the knees. And the count levels at 1-1 to sophomore Jaden Carrera. Belt level with a glove. The pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball on the outer half. It's 1-2. That is straight up cheese thrown by Cage Kennedy. Carrera closes that stance just a little bit. The offering swung on and line foul off to the right. Stays at 1-2. 9 locations across Northeast Colorado and Nebraska means there's always a Rudy's Tires close by. Visit rudystires.com. The pitch, way outside. Went with a heat, it's 2-2. We're at the top of the third inning. Fort Morgan with a 2-0 lead at Niwot. Cage Kennedy, the right-hander, to the plate. Fouled off to the right on a tailing fastball. Little shout out to my broadcast partner, John Prouty, and my other one, Brian Nickel. Neither one are here today. They've seen a lot of Mustang baseball, and they worked together last Saturday on B106. The pitch. Oh, and that hit him in the helmet. That got him on the bill of the helmet. So the hit batsman puts Carrera on. And the Mustangs have had the leadoff men on in all 3 innings. Langford reached on an air, Chisholm singled, and now the hit batsman to Jaden Carrera. Here is Jason Diaz, who walked in his first plate appearance. Are the Mustangs going to play small ball or just let him swing away? Good hitter. Well over 300. The pitch. That's a strike. Woo, bottom of the zone. Very bottom of the zone. That looked like it was a little bit below the knees, but it's 0-1. Off of first is Carrera, 2-step lead. The pitch, fouled off to the right. 2 strikes on Jason Diaz. A shorter lead now for Jada, now stretches it out. Cage Kennedy, the right-hander, looking in to the plate. Lifted down the right field line, but that's twisting foul and way out of play. Yeah, nothing is going to stay fair if you go to the opposite field, at least when you elevate it. No balls and 2 strikes. I'll be with you and John Prouty on Thursday, and then Brian will be calling Friday's game from Thompson Valley. That's the finale. The pitch, down and in to Jason Diaz. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 on, nobody out, top 3. 390 straight away in Niwot, 325 down the lines. Nobody's hit the ball to the left side. Everything's been to the right side. Throw back to first. Back in diving is Carrera. If you're inside, you look outside and say, what a gorgeous day. No, sorry. Not with this wind. 1-2. Runner goes. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Throw to second and a hop. It's a stolen base. Diaz strikes out. And now, what do we have here? Are they going to call the runner out too? Apparently Diaz struck out, and they're going to call him for obstruction. And now are they going to call out the runner as well? That's going to be 2 outs. The runner's going to be called out because of obstruction. Oh man, what a bad break. And I'm not sure that was the right call, but
Now batting, DH number 19, Chase.
Offensive interference on the catcher Diaz. So eliminated at second is Jaden Carrera. 2 down for Chase Prouty, who had an RBI single. Josh Langford not happy about that. I didn't see any obstruction whatsoever. He threw a solid ball to second. Unless on the backswing, Diaz hit the catcher's glove, but I didn't see that either. And that would actually be catcher's interference if that was the case, but nonetheless, you can't change that call. So here's Chase Prouty. Prouty at 1 for 1. The Bee Diggers defeated Yuma in 5 innings, 14-0 in Yuma. Quick game there. The pitch, fastball way outside. One ball and no strikes to Prouty. The stretch. And the pitch in the dirt skips to the screen. Two and 0. This wind is certainly relentless. 2 balls, no strikes. The offering. That's a strike with a fastball on the outer half at the knees. It's 2 and 1. With the bases empty, Prouty awaits the pitch. And here it is. Swung on and grounded to short. Charging is Rothstein. He's got it. Sets, throws to first. And Prouty is retired. And so are the Mustangs here in the top of the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bases left empty to the bottom of the 3rd. 2-0. Fort Morgan leads Niwot on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd. Fort Morgan leads Niwot 2-0. 8, 9, and 1 for Niwot. Sergio Pimentel, Arlo Richards, and Charlie Shaw. Against right-hander J.J. Marquez, who allowed 2 hits in a second.
Second baseman number 33, Sergio Pimentel.
Got to get this guy hitting just 128. The pitch, swinging a foul to the backstop. On the outside corner, it's 0-1. Well located pitch by Marquez. Righty against righty to begin the bottom of the 3rd. Marquez delivers. Curveball is upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. J.J. ready. And time is called in the middle of his windup. What is that? Come on. You can't do that. That should not have been granted whatsoever. You cannot grant that timeout just because the hitter wants it and the windup has started. 1-1 to Pimentel. The pitch swung on and lifted right side to shallow right field. Coming on, the second baseman Ortiz dives, and did he make the catch? Nope, off his glove. And that ball's twisting every which way. It'll be a base hit. Again, the ball dies and it tails off towards the line. And it got the middle of his glove, but he was lunging out there, scored a base hit. On a normal day, that's an easy out. Not a normal day. Here's the right-handed hitting Arlo Richards. The pitch going to bunt, and that's a little bit up and in. With a curveball, 1 ball and no strikes. Richards hitting .256. You've got to play real shallow if you're an outfielder. That ball's just not being hit far at all by anybody. That's bunted foul, first base side. Count is level at 1-1. To Arlo Richards, 2-0 Fort Morgan, bottom 3. Looking to avenge a 12-0 loss at home on Saturday. The stretch of the offering, and that's bunted foul. First base side, it's 1-2. If there's any let up to this wind, I don't know about it. The stretch and the offering, breaking ball went behind him. 2-2. Good job by Diaz snagging that out of the air. Marquez has only thrown 29 pitches. He's been very efficient. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Short lead at first. The pitch. It tails inside. Yeah, that missed. Mustangs wanted strike 3. That was definitely a ball. But now you got to come in with one to Arlo Richards. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pimentel for first, throw to first, back in diving as Frank applied the tag. Boy, he does have 2 strikeouts on breaking balls. Would he throw him a 3-2 breaking ball? We'll see. Runner goes. Swung on. That ball's grounded foul, third base side. Remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The first 2 reached in the bottom of the second, and nobody scored. JJ wants to avoid similar trouble in the bottom of the third. Pimentel off of first. Throw back to first. He was leaning, but he's back to the bag. Yeah, he was definitely going. He was definitely taking off. He might do it again. Marquez stretches. The pitch, runner goes, swung on and popped foul out of play. Tried to tie him up with a fastball. Remains at 3-2. Let's see, another 3-2. Here it is. That is inside. It barely missed. I think he threw him a changeup. And it's a walk. That was close. Man, was that close. I'll tell you how close it was. Richards didn't even take off at first. I think he thought he was rung up. Wow, that's a big call in this third inning. Charlie Shaw struck out swinging in the bottom of the first inning. So second straight inning, 2 on and nobody out. The offering, down and away. One ball and no strikes to Charlie Shaw. The pitch, and that bounces in and bounces to the backstop. The runners advance. Tying run now at second base with nobody out in the bottom of the third. Yeah, you don't get that call in the 3-2. Now you got to gut it up a little bit. Hunker down. 2 balls and no strikes to Charlie Shaw. The pitch, breaking ball's way outside. Trouble is brewing for the Mustangs in the bottom of the third, even with a 2-0 lead. 3 balls and no strikes. Marquez to the plate. That's a strike with a fastball inside corner. 3-1. Let's see if he challenges him again. Wine and pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Threw him another fastball. It's 3-2. Well, again, he could try with that breaking ball, but 3-2 breaking balls are pretty unconventional. But that's how he got him last time. Not on a 3-2, but just on the breaking ball. And the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded to short. Charlie to his left. Fields it. Throws to first for the out. Run scores. Trail runner to third. And it's 2-1. And why is that Niwot first base coach saying safe? Shut up with that already. That's awful. I hate when they try to... The play was not even close. Knock it off. I hate when they do that. Here's Brock Rothstein, who popped out to the second baseman. Actually popped out to Langford. That's short, even though he caught it where Ortiz is standing. That pitch is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Now, that just drives me crazy. Let the umpire do his job. I don't see the umpires calling pitches. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-1 Fort Morgan after the RBI ground out by Shaw. Scoring Pimentel. The pitch. Fastball's a strike on the inside corner at the knees. One and one straight up at 5 o'clock. This is Morgan County's B106. KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. Swung on line, base hit into right field. Richard scores. The RBI from Rothstein ties the game at 2 in the bottom of the third. Same location as the previous pitch. And that time Rothstein got some good aluminum on it, good metal.
Pitcher, number 15, Hayden Shaw.
Hayden Shaw popped out to the second baseman, Ortiz, to end the first. Here's the stretch. The pitch going to bunt, and it's off the glove of Diaz. He can't locate it. It's up the third base side, all the way towards the backstop. Wild pitch will send Rothstein to second. And I'm not sure what that visit is about. Josh Langford out to speak to the home plate umpire. I don't know what about it. I didn't see anything peculiar there. Just looked like a wild pitch. Diaz conferring with Marquez on the mound. Oh, they thought that the ball might have... Okay, that might have hit the helmet or something. I don't know. Either way, the play remains 1 ball and no strikes to Hayden Shaw. 1 out, 2 across with a runner at second. Back into the box is Shaw. Marquez at the belt. To the plate. Lifted to right field. Cooper Chisholm to his right is under it. Makes the catch. Runner tags. The throw to third is going to be cut off by Langford. And there's 2 down. Cage Kennedy singled and was picked off at second. Left-handed hitter for the Niwot Cougars. Out of the stretch with a runner at third. The pitch swung on, popped foul behind the screen. No balls and 1 strike. The offering. Curveball is grounded right side. Tough play. Ortiz charges, gloves, throws to first, and safe. Did he beat it out? I don't think the ball was dropped. I think he just beat it out, and it's 3-2 Niwot. Boy, that was a close play at first, but I didn't see the ball dropped. I was blocked off for a second. An infield hit, and the Cougars lead by 1.
Now batting, DH number 3, Jagger Kilpatrick.
Here is Kilpatrick. Singled his first time up. That pitch is inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Kennedy with a second hit of the game. Throw back to first, back in diving. 1 ball and no strikes to Kilpatrick, the DH. Stretched by Marquez. The pitch swung on line, base hit left field. That was hit very solidly. Kennedy the second. Niwot now has 6 hits in the game. And Henry Noblin will bat. He struck out swinging his first time up. A little bit of a rough inning for Marquez, but he is throwing strikes. The offering bounces in, blocked by Diaz. One and 0. Noblin awaits. The offering. That's a strike. Fastball, belt high. It's 1-1. The sun has been out the entire game. That's had no bearing. Doesn't feel any warmer with the sun. The offering. Swung on and tapped foul, third base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Henry Noblin. Niwot has grabbed a 3-2 lead in the third. Che to the plate. Breaking ball is outside. 2-2. Runners take their leads. Kennedy, the lead runner at second. The offering. That is a called strike three. Fastball inside corner. Noblin strikes out for the second time. And that does it for Niwot in the inning. 3 runs on 4 hits. No errors and 2 left. To the 4th we go. Niwot 3, Fort Morgan 2 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Top of the 4th inning. The Mustangs trail Niwot 3-2. Angel Lopez, followed by, actually Miguel Davila, followed by Angel Lopez, and then Isaiah Ortiz.
Now batting for the Mustangs, lead off the top of the 4th. Center fielder number 1.
For some reason, Lopez was almost in a batter's box, thinking that he was leading off. That would have been a disaster. Miguel Davila is the hitter.
Number 6.
Jeez. Well, I'm glad somebody kept track of that. That would have been one of the biggest mistakes of the entire season. Davila struck out looking his first time. Check it. He didn't do fielder's choice. FC, not KC. The pitch. Fastball, a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. The Cougars scored their 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. The offering swung on, grounded right back to Kennedy. He'll take a few steps underhanded to first for the out. 1 out. Sends up Angel Lopez.
Now batting center fielder number 1, Angel Lopez.
And his ERA continues to go down because the Mustangs scored 2 unearned runs in the 1st inning. Because Langford, who scored first, reached via an error. The pitch, that bounces all the way to the backstop. Lopez did strike out looking in his first plate appearance. A ball and no strikes to Angel Lopez. And the offering. Fisted right side, a dive and a catch by the second baseman, Sergio Pimentel. 2 down on a ball that was tailing in. That's all you could do. You're not going to hit it very hard, but it was a soft liner.
Now batting number 11, second baseman, Isaiah Ortiz.
Isaiah Ortiz struck out swinging his first time up. The stretch and the offering. Fastball is upstairs. One ball and no strikes to Ortiz. 2 down, the bases empty in the 4th inning. 3-2 Niwot. The pitch bounces to the backstop. Two and 0. Awaiting the pitch. Here it is. That's a strike with a fastball down the middle at the knees. Ball 2, strike 1. 3 runs on 6 hits for Niwot. 2 runs, 2 hits for Fort Morgan. Niwot is the game's only error. The offering. That's a fastball inside. 3-1 to Isaiah Ortiz. Now the sun is disappearing. Well, maybe it is worse. Fastball's a strike. Just below letter level, it's 3-2. Kennedy gets a sign, more than likely a heater. The pitch, foul tipped off the catcher Shaw. That got him in a very vulnerable spot as he walks it off. Three balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, my wife is listening. Just the hottest bowl of soup ever made. I'm going to go home, stick my hands in the oven, and the oven will cool off. 3-2 to Ortiz. The stretch, the pitch, outside, it's a walk. That'll bring up Cooper Chisholm. A single, his first time up.
Backfielder number 10, Cooper Chisholm.
Chisholm, a freshman, inside the batter's box. Kennedy stretches. Kennedy pitches. Line towards left field. That could be trouble. That's going to drop for a base hit along the line. And Chisholm is 2 for 2. This time he goes the other way. John Prouty calls that place hitting. He's done it twice. Once to center, once to left. Frank Urias, a sac bunt. But the Mustangs only have 3 hits, an RBI single from Prouty, and the 2 hits from Cooper Chisholm. The offering, swing and a miss. I have not seen Frank with one comfortable at bat. The ones he had against Roosevelt didn't look comfortable for him, and he swung at a pitch that was way inside. He's got to swing at pitches out over the plate, not inside the pitch. And that is off the glove, but no advance. 1 ball, 1 strike. Niwot with a 3-2 lead, top of the 4th inning, 2 on, 2 down. Kennedy gets a sign. Long pause. Why is he pausing so long? The pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove. 1-2. Ortiz off of second. Chisholm at first. Urias awaits the offering. That is inside. Boy, that barely missed. With a fastball, 2-2. Woo! Holy Mahungus, what a win. 2-2. The stretch, the pitch, that is inside again. I'd say Frank's having a very good plate appearance. After he swung at that first pitch, he could have swung at either of those because those were close, but he laid off. And now for at least, hopefully, minutes, if not seconds, a break from the nasty wind. 3-2. Runners should be going. They do. That's a called strike 3. Fastball down the middle. And Urias strikes out looking. In the top of the 4th inning for Fort Morgan. They do not score. They get a base hit. No errors and 2 left. 3 1/2 innings have been played in Niwot. Niwot 3, Fort Morgan 2 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm John Beltran. Let's head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Niwot 3, Fort Morgan 2. Drew Stapp, Sergio Pimentel, and Arlo Richards 7, 8, and 9 against J.J. Marquez. Stapp grounded to Marquez in his first plate appearance. Here's the pitch. That's low. 1 ball and no strikes. The Mustangs back in action on Thursday at home, 4 o'clock against Thompson Valley. The offering way outside. Marquez is halfway to 110 at 55 pitches unofficially. 2 balls and no strikes. Wine and pitch in the dirt. 3-0. And the offering. That's not even close, in the dirt again. JJ has issued a second walk. Here is Pimentel, who singled and scored.
Second baseman, number 33, Sergio Pimentel.
Pimentel was only hitting 128 before this game started. Squaring to bunt, and he bunts it right out in front of the plate. Diaz picks it up, spins, turns, throws to first for the out. Good play by the senior catcher. That's a sacrifice, successful 2-3. To second-ish. Stapp, one down.
Now playing center fielder, number 11, Richards.
Arlo Richards walked and scored his first time up. And the pitch, swing and a miss. One with some heat down at the knees. It's 0-1. Very few balls have been hit hard in this game. The offering way outside. Backhanded by Jason Diaz. It's 1-1. This is the 9-hitter in the Niwot lineup. And the pitch. That's a strike. Beautiful off-speed pitch on the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I just felt some raindrops. You gotta be kidding me. The pitch. Breaking balls upstairs. That did miss. Mustangs wanted it, but that's high. Yeah, that's high. 2-2. Good spot, but that's not a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The stretch and the offering. That is a called strike 3 changeup on the inner half of the knees. 2 down. Richard goes down. Here's Charlie Shaw, struck out and grounded out. Oh boy. Wind is blowing, empty chairs. They got to stop the game for a second. Wow. Now they resume. The pitch swung on, chopped foul, third base side. Caps, chairs, and almost people. One flying. Woo! No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, they're just stopping this game for a second. The wind is so brutal. Oh my gosh, it's almost dangerous at this point. Two down in the bottom of the 4th inning. Niwot with a 3-2 lead. JJ looks in. The pitch. And that's low. 1-1. Stapp at second. Marquez to the plate. Swung on, hit off the end of the bat on the ground, right side. Charging second baseman Ortiz. Underhands to first for the out. That ends the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. And a man left at third. 3-2 Niwot on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's get to the top of the 5th inning. This isn't bad weather. This is a prison sentence. 3-2 in favor of Niwot. The sun is out, but it is worse now. Heavier wind and even some rain. And here's Charlie Langford. Langford is 0 for 2. Reached on an errand, scored, and grounded out. as he steps in against right-hander Cage Kennedy. The pitch, scoring to bunt, and lays it down foul, third base side. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Charlie Langford to lead off the 5th inning. The Mustangs scored their 2 runs in the first. Niwot countered with 3 in the third. That's all the scoring in this game. The offering. Fastball is outside. One ball and 1 strike. Stretch by Kennedy. The pitch in the dirt. 2-1. We cannot position ourselves anywhere to block this win. It's just impossible. Impossible today. And the 2-1. Foul to the screen. Two balls and 2 strikes. Langford, Carrera, and Diaz in the visiting half of the 5th inning. Cage Kennedy, the right-hander, 79 pitches deep. To the plate, and he bounces that to the backstop. Three and 2. Yeah, all my tears are all over my face. I can't keep them intact. The offering swung on and grounded foul, third base side. Well, they're working Kennedy. I mean, 81 pitches and you still don't have an out in the 5th inning. They're going to have to replace him at some point. The offering. And that nearly hit him. It's a walk. Langford reaches. Here's Carrera, who's been on base twice. Walked and hit by a pitch. Yeah, this is just pure insanity. It felt okay after a couple of innings, but man, there is no rest for the wicked. Even Charlie has his face covered up at first, except the eyeballs. The stretch, the pitch, and that one's all the way to the screen, way outside. Charlie to second. Yeah, Cage Kennedy probably can't wait to snuggle up somewhere in the dugout. John, I need the steam room right now. The pitch inside with a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. We're in the top of the 5th inning. The runner in scoring position for the Mustangs. 2-0 was the score after half an inning. Now it's 3-2 Niwot. Carrera waits. The pitch inside off the glove, but no advance. 3-0. Jason Diaz is on deck. Wow, just to loosen up. I've got a minor bout with gout again. So this, to get to the car is going to be very interesting. To the truck. 3-0. The offering. That's a fastball up, and it'll walk to Jaden Carrera. And the Mustangs have 2 walks to begin the 5th inning. Looking for the lead. Here's Jason Diaz, who walked and struck out. Now again, if you're Diaz, I don't swing at the first strike. You've just walked 2 batters in a row. Cage Kennedy has thrown 5 consecutive balls. I would think, hey, do not swing at the first strike, but let's see if he's going to stay in the game. There'll be a visit to the mound. Well over 80 pitches. Now, we welcome any sun and no wind, which is the case right now, but you know, that's so temporary. That's so temporary that they're just teasing us. That's all it is a tease. Thank goodness we have a lot more daylight left, and there will be a pitching change in the top of the 5th inning. We'll tell you about the new pitcher
New pitcher warming up to
right after this
number 19.
on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Jack O'Hara, a right-hander, is the new pitcher for Niwot. He'll face Jason Diaz. The pitch going to bunt, and he lays it down third base side, takes a big hop to the third baseman. Throw to first is in time. And I believe that's Kennedy, or is that Noblin still at third? Yep. But the sacrifice is successful on a ball that was popped up, but not deep enough to be caught in midair. So goes 5-3.
Now batting, the DH number 19.
One
Chase
down.
Prouty.
Chase Prouty is 1 for 2. With 2 runners in scoring position, the pitch. That's a strike with a fastball in the inner half. An RBI single in the first and grounded out in his second plate appearance to short. Langford and Carrera on the bases. A ground ball in the infield should tie the game. The pitch swung on and fouled off the end of the bat. Oh man, that's gotta hurt. But apparently it didn't. No balls and 2 strikes. Just make some contact on the ground. You got speed on the bases. The offering foul to the backstop on a pitch that was up and in, but Chase is not going to be allowing that umpire to make any decision. Niwot 3, Fort Morgan 2, top of the 5th inning. 2 on, 1 out. Prouty awaits the 0-2. In the dirt, blocked beautifully by Hayden Shaw. One with a sharp breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The offering called strike 3. Fastball in the inside corner. I think Chase knew it. Yep. 2 down. Real good pitch. Located very well. Here's Miguel Davila, who's grounded into a fielder's choice and then grounded back to the mound. He's 0 for 2. The stretch and the offering. Breaking balls outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Langford at third, Carrera at second. The pitch, curveball is a beauty. Down the middle at the knees, it's 1-1. Davila awaits, swung on, popped foul, right side, out of play. 1-2. Mustangs had the first 2 on, but then Diaz with a sac bunt. Prouty is struck out, and Davila trying to deliver. The pitch swung on. That's popped up in the shallow right center field. Arlo Richards, the center fielder to his left, makes the catch. And that will end the threat for the Fort Morgan Mustangs in the top of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left. 4.5 complete. Niwot 3, Fort Morgan 2 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs are looking to keep this at a 3-2 Niwot lead. Bottom of the 5th inning, J.J. Marquez has thrown just 66 pitches. But he's got the meat of the order coming up. Brock Rothstein, Hayden Shaw, and Cage Kennedy. Mustangs have stranded 6 in the game. Niwot only left 4 on base. Rothstein is 1 for 2. A pop out and a single. The pitch, fastball strike outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Let's make this a quick inning, JJ. Just throw strikes and let your defense do the work. Here's the wine and the offering. Curveball is a little bit up and away. Count levels at 1-1. Left-handed hitter for Niwot. Awaits the pitch in the dirt. Ball 2, strike 1. Marquez looks in. And the offering. Swung on, grounded to second. Ortiz is there on the third hop. Sets, throws to first. 1 out. And that brings up Hayden Shaw, who has popped to second and flown to right. Again, JJ with another outstanding outing. Had that 1 tough inning, but they also hit the ball. Righty against righty. Marquez to the plate. Fastball is upstairs. A ball and no strikes. Diaz lays down the sign. The pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle, headed for center field. A dive by Langford. He's got it, but no throw to first. Made a great play behind the bag, but there was no way he was going to throw at Hayden Shaw, and he just held on to the baseball. A 1-out base hit for Cage Kennedy. Or this should be O'Hara. Yeah, it's going to be O'Hara. Yep, O'Hara will hit for the first time.
Pitcher number 19, Jack O'Hara.
His first plate appearance of the game, as he just relieved Kennedy in the top of the 5th inning. We're in the bottom of the 5th. To the plate. Foul to the backstop. Challenged him with some heat on the inner half. It's 0-1. Yeah, the one thing JJ's had in his last 2 outings, besides control, is composure. Looks very calm out there. That's his domain on the mound. Short lead at first. The offering. That's grounded third base side. The second, that'll be for 1. And back to first, high throw. And did it go into the dugout? Ricocheted. It went into the dugout. The air on Ortiz, that would have been a double play. Davila made a perfect throw, but Isaiah Ortiz made a terrible throw on the relay. That would have been an easy double play. So first error committed by Fort Morgan as the hitter went to second. Got to make those plays. That was there for the taking. Kilpatrick has singled twice. The stretch and the pitch. Fouled to the backstop. It's 0-1. And when you don't make that relay throw, it just extends the pitch count for Marquez. Could have been out of there with 74 pitches. So got to get this hitter, and it won't do too much damage to his pitch count. The offering, fouled. Third base side, it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a man at second, bottom of the 5th inning. Niwot with a 1-run lead. Marquez delivers. Low. Ball 1, strike 2. Courtesy runner for O'Hara off of second. The pitch swung on and lifted, foul right side. Remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending with decades upon decades of experience. That's Premier Farm Credit. The pitch, breaking ball down and away. And now the count levels at 2-2. Start your associate degree. Get a specialized certificate, Morgan Community College at morgancc.edu. The offering swung on, grounded, foul. Pitch number 80 there for Marquez. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. J.J. Marquez looks back. The pitch, fisted foul, first base side. That pitch was in on the hands. That could set up a breaking ball. That could very well set up a breaking ball for Marquez. Let's see what he decides to throw. The offering. It is a breaking ball, but it stays high. 3-2 to the number 5 hitter, Jagger Kilpatrick. Let's get him right here, JJ. The offering. Swung on, foul, third base side. Man, this Kilpatrick is tough. Again, he singled twice. And this will be the 10th pitch of the plate appearance. To Jagger Kilpatrick. Henry Noblin is on deck, and he struck out twice. The offering. Fouled again. There is a base open if you can't get this guy. But man, JJ now might not be able to pitch the 6th inning. Stretch by Marquez. The offering. Fisted in the air. Infield. Second baseman. Ortiz makes the catch. Langford was going over, but he almost cut him off there. But Isaiah made the play. Just to the right side of the second base bag. And a great job there by J.J. Marquez of getting out of that mini miscue committed in the infield. No runs. 1 hit. The first Mustang error of the game and 1 left. 5 complete. Niwot 3, Fort Morgan 2 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Angel Lopez fouls the first pitch off the end of the bat to lead off the 6th inning. 3-2 Niwot. Lopez struck out and hit a soft liner to the second baseman Pimentel. He's 0 for 2. Jack O'Hara, second pitcher for Niwot, delivers a breaking ball that sails to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Both teams have scored their runs in only 1 inning. 2 runs for the Mustangs in the first, 3 runs for Niwot in the third. Swung on, that ball is laced on the ground to third on 2 hops. The throw to first is right there, made by Noblin, 1 out. Here's Isaiah Ortiz, who struck out and walked 0 for 1.
Now batting second baseman, number 11, Isaiah Ortiz.
Looks like there's activity for the Mustangs. In the right field bullpen, Frank Urias might be coming in the 6th inning. Fastball, a strike on the inside corner to Ortiz. O'Hara has the look of a closer. Big, strong right-hander. The pitch, swing, and a miss on a fastball in the outside corner. It's 0-2. Throwing nothing but gas right now. He did have 1 breaking ball. And the offering, that's way outside, took something off of that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. O'Hara out of the stretch, just like the predecessor, Cage Kennedy, with the bases empty. The pitch swung on and chopped right back to the mound. And the throw to first is right there by O'Hara. Ortiz is 0 for 2. 2 down.
Now batting right fielder number 10, Cooper Chisholm.
Cooper Chisholm has 2 of the 3 Fort Morgan hits. Unfortunately for him, he's out up there with the bases empty and 2 down. Fort Morgan is being out-hit in this game 7-3, but only being outscored 3-2. The pitch, that's a breaking ball that bounces to the plate. 1 ball and no strikes to Cooper Chisholm. The right-hander, O'Hara, At the belt. To the plate. Fastball is up and away. 2-0. To Chisholm. More than likely coming in with a fastball. And he does. It's a strike down the middle. Ball 2, strike 1. O'Hara loves to rear back and throw that heater. The pitch swung on and popped up left side. The third baseman, Noblin, makes the one-handed grab. 1, 2, 3 inning for Jack O'Hara. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning in 1 minute. Niwot 3 and the Mustangs 2. Frank Urias will be the new pitcher on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So Frankie U is on for the Mustangs at the bottom of the 6th inning. Urias coming off that impressive 3-inning relief stint against Riverdale Ridge. Picked up the victory last Thursday in Fort Morgan, a 5-4 10-inning victory. And he'll face Henry Noblin, who struck out twice already, along with Drew Stapp and Sergio Pimentel. As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, Niwot with a 3-2 lead. So even if Fort Morgan doesn't win this game, they still have 3 more outs to play with. They played a lot better today than they did on Saturday in that 12-0 setback. The left-hander will face Noblin, 6, 7, and 8. Frank is only a freshman, followed up by the sophomore who started the game. Swung on and fouled. At the plate, it's 0-1. Yeah, this is the look of a 3-year starting pitcher after this year. No doubt. The offering outside with a fastball, and the count is level at 1-1. Nice overhead and overhand delivery, I should say. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. That's a strike with that backdoor sidearm breaking ball. It's 1-2. I love the way he changes arm angles. Frank ready. The pitch. Upstairs. One with a fastball at 2-2. Noblin, the third baseman. Right-handed hitter. Awaits the offering. Up and in with a fastball. It's 3-2. He's already struck out twice in the game. Got to keep this at 3-2. You haven't scored since the first inning. Got to get this first hitter. Frank ready. The pitch. That's nowhere close. Upstairs, and it's a walk. He lost him after a 1-2 count. And more than likely, Drew Stapp is going to try to bunt the runner to second. He grounded out and walked. Oh boy, does that hurt. At least he's a left-handed pitcher. And when you're a lefty, it's hard to steal on you. Stapp at 0-1. Will he be bunting? He will. And it's laid down foul. Right side. It's 0-1. Niwot 3, Fort Morgan 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Noblin off of first. Urias to the plate, squaring to bunt outside with a fastball. The count levels at 1-1. If you could get the next 3, you don't turn over the lineup, even after walking the opening hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, nobody out. The pitch squaring to bunt, and it's up and away again. He's giving you the out. Frank's just got to throw it over the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, he's giving you the out. That's why it's called a sacrifice. The stretch and the offering. That is bunted first base side. Barehanded by Frank. Throw to first in time. Michael Strange now the first baseman. Sacrifice goes 1-3. 1 out.
Not batting. Second baseman.
Here's Sergio Pimentel. He's been good today, a single and a sac bunt. Hitting just 128 going in, but he's been productive so far today. Here's the stretch and the offering, and that one hit him. Went that sidearm fastball and it nailed him. First and second for Arlo Richards, who's walked and struck out looking. Not sure where that got him, but it clearly clipped him somewhere. Man, if they've got a JV game after this, that's not going to be pretty. I see kids in uniforms, man. I mean, the wind has certainly not been a factor in the last inning and a half, but it could come back any time. The pitch, fastball is up away. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, Frank cannot find the strike zone. 12 pitches thrown, only 4 in the strike zone. He does have 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning with Fort Morgan trailing Niwot 3-2. The stretch, the offering, swing and a miss. Blew a fastball right by Richards. It's 1-1. Hopefully that will get him into rhythm. The infield a double play death, but the second baseman Ortiz is shaded towards first, so it's got to be hit towards Charlie. 1 ball, 1 strike. The stretch, the pitch, that's inside. Throw to third, runner going is low, and then a stolen base. Not even a slide there for the lead runner as Davila tried to apply the tag. And it's a double steal. Noblin to third. A good throw might have had him. And to second, Pimentel. Now the infield's got to play in. Got to play in with 2 balls and 1 strike. Down by a run in the bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch swung on and lifted into left field. This will score a run. Carrera is back under it, makes the catch. Runner tags from third. Noblin steps on home plate. It's a sac fly by Arlo Richards. Niwot with an insurance run leads 4-2.
Now batting, right fielder number 13, Charlie Shaw.
Here's Charlie Shaw. Pimentel, meanwhile, held up at second. Shaw 0 for 3, struck out and grounded out twice. They've done a nice job on the leadoff hitter. Stretch by Frank. And the offering. That's low with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Niwot has really not had to do much in this inning. A walk, a sacrifice, a hit batter, sac fly, swung on, fisted foul, third base side. It's 1-1. With Pimentel at second, 2 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 4-2 Niwot advantage. The stretch and the offering in the dirt, and it skips away. Runner to third on the wild pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now you got to make sure you block everything if you're Diaz. Don't want another run scoring with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 to Charlie Shaw. Bank of Colorado, another fine sponsor of Morgan County Athletics. The pitch, very high. 3-1. Yeah, just cannot find his rhythm. Cannot find it. No hits allowed, but too many free base runners. 3-1 to Shaw. The stretch by Frank and the pitch. That's a good-looking pitch. A swing and a foul. There you go. Try to duplicate that and get out of this frame and then have a shot in the 7th. Down by 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Niwot looking to even their record with a victory. They're 9-10. The Mustangs at 6-14. Diaz lays down the sign. The offering, very high, not even close. It's a walk to Charlie Shaw. Here's Rostein. 1 for 3, popped out, singled, grounded out, and Frank has just not followed through on many of his pitches. Yeah, got to follow through. Well, and don't worry about the base runners. You get this guy, the base runners don't matter. But this is a good hitter. Runner goes. Inside, throw to second. Will be cut off by Langford. Stolen base for Shaw. A base hit would kill Fort Morgan here. It would really hurt him. You don't want that lead to be doubled up now from 4-2 to 6-2. The pitch. That's a strike with a fastball in the outer half of the knees. This is righty against righty. I check it, lefty against lefty. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lefty against lefty here. Frank against Brock Rostein. The offering. Swung on and lifted into shallow right field. The second baseman, Ortiz, makes the catch on the edge of the grass. And not too much damage done in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 run, no hits, no errors, and 2 left. Let's head to the 7th. Niwot 4, Fort Morgan 2 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Braden Hilser will lead off the top of the 7th inning for the Mustangs.
Leading off the top of the 7th.
Trailing Niwot 4-2, and Jack O'Hara, who came into the game in the 5th inning, looking to close it out. Hilser with his first at-bat of the game. The pitch in the dirt. Hilser batting .200. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's a stretch and the offering. Swing and a miss and a fastball in the outer half, belt high. And it's 1-1. Hilser, Langford, and Carrera here on the Mustangs' 7th. The offering. Swung on and grounded to short. Rostein is right there. Slings it to first, 1 out. Here's Langford. Reached on an air, grounded out and walked. He's 0 for 2, but he's been on base twice.
Shortstop, number 15, Charlie Langford.
J.J. Marquez still looking for his first win of the season, but he did pitch a very good game today. The offering. That's a strike at the knees on the inner half with a fastball. It's 0-1 to Charlie. The Mustangs have not scored in the 1st inning. An RBI single from Prouty, and they scored in a wild pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball at the knees. It's 0-2. And they have threatened a little bit since then. Well, actually, they had that 1 inning with 2nd and 3rd and 1 out, could not score. The offering. Fastball is up and in. Ball 1, strike 2 to Charlie Langford. Need a base runner to send the tying run to the plate, even though nobody's going to hit a home run today. The pitch. Breaking ball is down and away. 2-2 to the senior shortstop. O'Hara stretches. The pitch. Popped up right side, foul territory, and out of play. As giving chase was Drew Stapp, it remains at 2-2. Post-game show is coming up immediately. We're not going to waste any time here. Brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Get back to a warm automobile and warm indoor confines. The pitch, and that hit him. Ooh, boy, got him in the lower back. Oh, man. No way to get out of that one. It'll send up Jaden Carrera, who's walked twice and been hit by a pitch. He's been on base all 3 times. So the Mustangs with some life in the 7th. Fort Morgan's not going to go down without a fight. So Charlie's on base 3 times in this game without a hit. Jaden on base 3 times without a hit. 0 for 0 officially. The pitch, up and in with a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Charlie with a 2.5-step lead, and that rides inside. All of a sudden, O'Hara can't find the strike zone. 2-0. To Jaden Carrera. Charlie with the lead. You got to expect something fat. Throw back to first, just a lob over there. Charlie back in easily. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 on, 1 out. Top 7, Niwot 4, Fort Morgan 2. The pitch, up and away. Well, I don't think, let's see, they've walked too many hitters. Actually, Cage Kennedy issued 5 walks. O'Hara has not walked anybody, but he's 3-0 on Carrera. And that's upstairs with a fastball. And Jaden Carrera has been on base 4 times, 3 walks and a hit batter. And you've got what you want. You've got Jason Diaz and Chase Prouty coming up. Diaz has walked, struck out, and delivered a sac bunt. A visit to the mound. The Mustangs are 5 days removed from avenging a 15-0 loss to Riverdale Ridge and winning at home 5-4 in 10 innings. Trying to avenge a 12-0 Saturday loss at home. Down by 2 runs with 1 out in the top of the 7th. And your senior catcher steps in just past the top of the hour. 5 minutes after 6 o'clock Mountain Time. This is Morgan County's B106. KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. I'm John Beltran. The pitch swung on and lifted in the infield, and it's caught by the shortstop, Rostein, on a pitch in on the hands. I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't understand that. He just walked the hitter on 4 pitches. I never agree with that. I don't agree with attacking, and that was not a good hitter's pitch. That's a pitcher's pitch. I do not know why you swing at that pitch. That should be an automatic take. Here's Chase Prouty, the pitch. And that bounces in and bounces up the first base side. Langford will advance to third. Holding up at first is Carrera. One ball and no strikes. Chase with an RBI single to right field in the first inning. Grounded to short and then struck out looking with runners at second and third and 1 out in the 5th. One ball and no strikes. The pitch, fouled. Throw him a breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Chase Prouty. 2 down and 2 on in the top of the 7th inning. Niwot 4, Fort Morgan 2. O'Hara to the plate, outside. Ball 2, strike 1. Langford off of third, Carrera at first. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch, tapped foul. Pitch was up in the zone. Along the third base side, it's 2-2. Chase has got to be all over this one now. O'Hara does have that breaking ball to his repertoire that he really hasn't thrown too much for a strike. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and that was the nastiest pitch that I've seen all game. You can't fault Prouty there. He went down swinging, but that was a major league curveball that would tie up any hitter, and the game is over. The Mustangs leave 2 on base. Niwot wins 4-2, 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 7 left on base. Fort Morgan 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 8 left on base. The winning pitcher, J.J. Marquez. Check it. The winning pitcher was Cage Kennedy. The loss to J.J. Marquez, the save to Jack O'Hara. Time of the game was 2 hours and 3 minutes. Prouty with an RBI single. Then they got Hilser scoring in a wild pitch. That made it 2-0. And that was it for Mustang scoring as Niwot scored their 3 runs of the 4 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And it was the bottom of the lineup that got it done. Charlie Shaw with an RBI ground out, scoring Sergio Pimentel, who led off with a base hit. Brock Rothstein with an RBI single, and then they took the lead for good on Cage Kennedy's run-scoring single. And that's it. Niwot now at 10-10 on the season. In league play, they are 7-9. And the Mustangs dropped to 6-15 overall and 3-13 in league play, but they played a heck of a lot better today, certainly, than they did on Saturday. So we'll talk to you Thursday. I'll be joined by my good buddy John Prouty, my brother John, on Thursday at 4 o'clock when the Mustangs take on Thompson Valley. Have a great night and God bless. The final score from Niwot. Niwot 4, Fort Morgan 2 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.